Hello everyone, Carlos Flores back on basics. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a topic, a suggestion, feedback, comment, or if you want me to give you my take on anything, put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to do so. If you want to connect with me on other social media outlets, on Facebook you can search for me, Carlos Flores Jr. Flores is Flores. Carlos Flores Jr. On Instagram, on X, or on Threads, you can connect with me at Back on Basics. And on WhatsApp, you can connect with me at Back on Basics 9985. So, let's talk about how to be in the present moment. In other words, how to be mindful. How to be in the present moment, but in addition to that, for those around us as well. So being in the present moment means a lot of things. And there's a lot of different ways that we can look at this. We can look at it from the religious perspective. We can look at it from the psychological perspective. We can look at it from the, just from the life coaching perspective. Because a lot of the times we as humans are not in the present moment. And that's one of the things that I wanted to start with. A lot of the times we're either living in the past or we're living in the future. Believe me, myself, I tend to do that. That's the reason why I'm doing these videos. So that way you can have different ways of how to deal with all of these topics that I'm talking about. And being in the present moment has a little bit more of an importance because if you're not in the present moment, then you're either living in the past or you're living in the future that hasn't happened yet. And so what then? And so here are some tips so that way you can be here. You can be in the present moment. Watch my shorts. The ones that I just did. I did them outside. I did them because the weather was sunny and everything, and it was pretty warm. I was wearing a sweater. I wasn't even wearing a beanie. And I was listening to the neighbors play music. So it was like, hey, I was in the present moment. I was soaking things in. I was processing things. I was making sure that I was aware of my surroundings. And so those are some of the micro things that I would recommend for you to do. But at the same time, here are some tips on how you can be present, not just for yourself, but for others around you. So the first one that I'm going to talk to you about is just practice active listening. What it means is whenever you're talking to somebody, at some point, you may want to just summarize the last few words or comments that they made so that way they know that you're listening. I sometimes tend to be one of those that just rattles and rattles and rattles, and then when I don't feel at my best or when I'm not in the best of moods, I shut down and I just say just quick 2, 3, 4 words and that's it. And so you have to make sure that you're practicing active listening. Believe me, I practice it. I try to practice it even in those moments where you just don't want to do anything, but you still need to make sure that you reciprocate, that people are trying to talk to you. The people are trying to tell you something. The people are trying to relate with you and where you're at. So practice active listening. So another thing that you may want to do is validate people's feelings. I mean, there's a lot of things going on as humans. We have so many different feelings and emotions and the ways that we deal with things, the way that we look at things. Some of us are very focused and can look and move forward. Some of us have a little bit broader area of looking. Others don't have an area. I mean, it's all over. And so those things we need to make sure that that we're validating our feelings and validating their feelings. So what I would recommend, right? Remember what I said in previous videos about doing a body scan on yourself. That's how you become aware of where you're at, right? what's going on in my head, what's going on in my mind, and then you move down to your, what's going on with my body. Is it stress? Is it just at its optimal? What am I doing right? What am I doing that I need to change or adapt? And so again, right? That's how you start being mindful. And once you start being mindful for yourself, it actually helps you look at other people's feelings. It actually helps you validate those feelings. It actually helps you make sure that you're getting their message complete and not just pieces here and pieces there. So again, validate people's feelings. Practice self-awareness is another one. And I just said, right, being mindful and just self-awareness. Be aware of who you are, what you do, your life experiences, and how they interact with your surrounding environment, with the people around you. Be mindful that life is not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't. I mean, it seems like sometimes like it's perfect because most of the things are lining up, but it's still not. You have to understand that. It doesn't mean that you have to keep on going. It just means that you have to find a place where you are, you're practicing self-awareness and saying, this is where my goal is. This is where I want to be. This time, this spot, this thought, this act of kindness is where I want to be. This is where I feel aware of myself, and I feel aware of what others are needing or others are trying to communicate with me. So again, practice self-awareness. One of the things that sometimes we tend to do, and sometimes, I'm all about having personal space, right? But some people don't, and some people tend to get into other people's spaces, and they, it does make a difference when somebody's personal bubble, right, has been entered by somebody else. I mean, it does change you. It changes you mentally, physically, emotionally. Again, right? Mind, body, emotional balance. But it changes you. Sometimes it disrupts you enough that you stop, and sometimes it disrupts you enough to slow you down. And sometimes, you know what, you get to a point where if it keeps on happening and happening and happening, people give up. And then you stop completely. Why? Because it's happening in many different aspects and many different ways. And so again, right, respect people's space. You have to respect people's space, because sometimes you just need to be by yourself. Sometimes you just need to be with somebody else, somebody that knows you, right? A close one, a family member. Sometimes you just need to be in a silent place by yourself, focusing your mind, making sure that you are creating this momentum so that way you can move forward. Again, focusing your mind, creating this momentum so that way you can move forward. And it's not easy. Remember, everything takes practice. It's like riding a bike, right? You're not going to be an expert the first time that you jump in a bike, because you don't know how it goes, how you're going to stop, how you're going to accelerate, whether it's going to be dangerous or not dangerous. I mean, haven't you seen, right? You've seen videos, you've seen shorts of people that, have fallen off of bikes, have fallen off of horses, have fallen off of whatever, have gotten hurt, and then everything changes for them. Everything changes for them, because now they don't want to do the activity that they did because of the traumatic experience that they've had, right? And so, or other times, they're not doing things because, again, they don't wanna get hurt again. So going back to the same thing, respect people's space. Believe me, once they see that you're respecting people's spaces, people are going to learn that they also need to respect your space, right? Communication is the last thing I'm going to tell you. Whenever you're doing all of these things, you have to understand that you have to communicate with others what's going on around you, what's going on in front of you, what's going on behind you. And so you have to make sure that you're communicating, because if you're not communicating, then, nobody knows what you're thinking. Nobody knows what you're doing unless you communicate it. So again, by respecting people's space, you also have to learn to communicate, to say, hey, I'm taking this break, or I'm doing this, or I'm changing that, or I'm taking this out. And so again, right, just again, be in the present moment, be in the here and now. And believe me, that's going to get you motivated. Why do you think I have almost, and I've said this, and I think this is the third video that I'm going to say straight, over 400 videos, over close to 500 videos, if not over 500 videos, because I get motivated by doing this. If it was up to me, I would be doing this all day. But again, I don't want to bombard you with a lot of videos. I don't want to bombard you with a lot of things. And so again, right now, I'm just ramping myself up. I want to thank the 456 subscribers to this YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. You rock, right? You're unleashing your beast. Remember, your inner beast. And so keep on doing the things that you're doing. Keep on coming with the questions and the comments and the likes and the subscriptions, and subscribe to this YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. My goal is to get, my goal is to get to at least 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 subscribers. And I want to make sure that we create this community that you can have access to all of these videos at any time, from anywhere, in your phone, in your laptop, everywhere. And so again, but it all begins with being in the present moment for yourself and being in the present moment for others. Back on Basics.